Build a balanced life from nothing. That idea may sound overwhelming at first, especially if you feel like you're starting behind, starting late, or starting without support. But here's the truth. Every great life, every meaningful life, every fulfilled and successful life begins exactly the same way, with a decision. A decision that says, from this moment forward, I take responsibility. Not for everything that has happened to me, not for the past, but for what I choose next. You see, balance is not something you find, it is something you build. And like any structure, it must begin with a solid foundation. Without that foundation, everything else eventually collapses. Your energy, your focus, your relationships, your sense of purpose. So let's begin at the beginning. The first step in building a balanced life is clarity. You cannot balance what you have not defined. Most people are not overwhelmed because they have too much to do. They are overwhelmed because they don't know what truly matters. So ask yourself, what does a balanced life mean to me? Not to society, not to your parents, not to your peers, to you. For some, balance means having time for family. For others, it means financial independence. For others, it means health, freedom, creativity, or contribution. There is no universal formula, but there is a universal principle. Balance comes from alignment between your values and your actions. If your life feels chaotic, it's not because life is against you. It's because something inside your priorities is unclear or misaligned. Take time to define your core areas. Your health, your relationships, your work, your finances, your personal growth, and your emotional well-being. These are the pillars of a balanced life. If even one of them is ignored for too long, the whole system begins to weaken. Now here is where most people make their first mistake. They try to fix everything at once. They decide, I'm going to get in shape, earn more money, fix my relationships, wake up early, read more, and become disciplined starting tomorrow. And then, within a few days, they fail. Not because they are weak, but because they're trying to build a skyscraper on sand. Balance is not created through intensity, it is created through consistency. So instead of trying to change everything, choose one area, just one, and ask yourself, what is the smallest meaningful step I can take today in this area? If it's your health, maybe it's a 20-minute walk. If it's your finances, maybe it's tracking your expenses. If it's your relationships, maybe it's making one honest phone call. Small actions repeated daily create momentum, and momentum is what transforms your identity. Because ultimately, a balanced life is not about time management, it is about self-management. You do not need more hours in the day, you need better control over your attention, your energy, and your choices. Now let's talk about energy, because this is critical. You cannot build a balanced life if you are constantly exhausted. Energy is the currency of achievement. Without it, even the best plans fail. So prioritize your physical well-being. Sleep is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Nutrition is not optional, it is foundational. Movement is not extra, it is essential. When your body is strong, your mind becomes clear. When your mind is clear, your decisions improve, and when your decisions improve, your life changes. But balance is not only physical, it is also emotional. Many people carry invisible burdens, stress, resentment, fear, self-doubt. These drain your energy more than any physical effort ever could. So you must learn to let go. Let go of what you cannot control. Let go of past mistakes. Let go of the need for approval. Let go of comparisons. Balance requires inner peace, and inner peace comes from acceptance combined with progress. You accept where you are, but you commit to moving forward. Now let's talk about time, because time is where balance becomes visible. Every person has the same 24 hours, but the difference lies in how those hours are allocated. If you say something is important, but you never give it time, then it is not truly important to you. So take a close look at your day. Where is your time going? Are you investing it or spending it?
There's a big difference. Investing time means putting it into activities that create long-term value. Learning, building relationships, improving your health, working towards meaningful goals. Spending time means consuming without intention. Endless scrolling, distractions, activities that leave you feeling empty afterwards. A balanced life requires intentional scheduling. Not rigid, not perfect, but intentional. Plan your days with purpose. Block time for your priorities. Protect that time as if it matters, because it does. Now let's address work. Work is a major part of life, and for many people, it becomes the center of everything. They sacrifice their health, their relationships, and their happiness for the sake of achievement. But here's the paradox. When your life is out of balance, your performance at work eventually suffers. Sustainable success requires balance. So instead of asking, how can I work more, ask, how can I work better? Focus on high-value activities. Eliminate distractions. Develop skills that increase your effectiveness. Work with intensity, but also with boundaries. When you work, work fully. When you rest, rest fully. This separation is essential. Now let's talk about relationships, because no life is truly balanced without meaningful connections. Success without relationships leads to emptiness. Take time to nurture the people that matter. Be present, listen, show appreciation, invest emotionally. You don't need many relationships, you need meaningful ones. And remember, the quality of your life is largely determined by the quality of your relationships. Now, personal growth. If you are not growing, you are stagnating, and stagnation creates dissatisfaction. So commit to continuous learning. Read, listen, reflect, improve your skills, challenge your thinking. Growth brings confidence. Confidence brings action. Action brings results, and results reinforce your sense of balance. Now let's talk about discipline, because everything we've discussed, clarity, health, time management, relationships, growth, all of it depends on one thing: your ability to do what you said you would do. Discipline is not about punishment, it is about freedom. When you are disciplined, you are not controlled by impulses, you are guided by purpose. Start small, build habits, keep promises to yourself. Each time you follow through, you strengthen your identity as a reliable, capable person. And that identity is what sustains long-term balance. Now here is something important. Balance does not mean equal time for everything. That's a myth. Balance means giving the right amount of time and energy to each area based on your current priorities. Sometimes work will require more focus. Sometimes family will. Sometimes your health will. The key is awareness. You regularly step back and ask, am I neglecting something important? And if the answer is yes, you adjust. Balance is dynamic. It evolves as your life evolves. Finally, let's talk about purpose. Because without purpose, balance becomes empty structure. Why are you doing all of this? Why does your life matter? When you have a clear purpose, everything aligns more naturally. Your decisions become easier, your motivation becomes stronger, your resilience increases. Purpose gives meaning to effort. So take time to reflect. What do you want your life to stand for? What impact do you want to have? You don't need all the answers today, but you need direction. And direction creates momentum. Now remember this, you do not need to be perfect. You will have days where things fall apart. You will lose balance. You will feel overwhelmed. That is part of the process. The goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. Each day, return to your priorities. Make small improvements. Stay consistent. Over time, these small improvements compound into a life that feels stable, fulfilling, and aligned. A balanced life is not built in a day, but it is built daily. And it begins with a decision. A decision to take ownership. A decision to act with intention. A decision to align your life with what truly matters. You have everything you need to begin. Start where you are. Use what you have. Take the first step. And then take the next. Because the life you want is not something you wait for. It is something you create.